Okay. Drop it in the announcements. I hadn't streamed in a hot minute, so
Did you send out a tweet?
I am going to do that in 1 second. For some reason I usually do tweet and then I do I don't know if Kay's joining us today, so I'm gonna take that part off the tweet. And then if they do join, it's a bonus. I usually do tweet first and then the Discord announcement, but for some reason I switched it today. I don't know why. Alright, I'm gonna close Twitter so I don't have any risk of
Why? Why is this GIF?
I don't know. It cracked me up though. I'm running out of GIFs to use on Twitter because either they're spoilery, they're for a different game, or they have somebody's like name on them. Like there's a bunch of ones that say like, "Oh Fuji, you're so cool" or whatever when I type in Zeroscape into the GIF bar. So I'm like I can't really use those, so I'm starting to run out of them. So this was a
We'll have to start making some.
yeah, that's valid. You start stealing some off of like I don't know the wiki, like the sprite animations or something. My ear's hurting out of nowhere. I apologize in advance. There were some like random people talking outside my window earlier. So if you guys hear like random background noise, I can't really help it, but that's what's happening.
Just yell at them to shut up.
Yeah, totally. I'm sure that'll work. The weird thing is that I'm on the second floor, so I'm not sure. Like, they had to be pretty loud to, like, be heard that high up.
Even more of a reason to yell at them to shut up.
I wish the window wasn't blocked. I would just open it and start, like, throwing stuff down at them. Like, nothing harmful, just, like, I don't know, like, some crackers or, like, a penny or something.
Or your voice when you yell at them to shut up.
Yeah. Oh, boy. So, Bea, have you thought any on the theories since last time we played? Do you have any new fun ideas, or are you still sticking with?
Well, right now, trust 7 and Santa.
Okay.
Hold it! I actually trust
shit,
Lotus
what was
now.
that? Foregathers? Thank you for the follow? That scared the crap out of me.
Who?
Foregathers? I think is what it said. It's not showing up in my like notification bar for some reason. My mini feed, but it showed up on like that's what it looked like on the actual thing.
Yeah, I don't know if you know, but there's some bots on Twitch, and apparently if you click on their name, things could happen. I don't know.
Yeah, that's
So
what I was wondering. I was like,
be careful.
yeah, I'm gonna yeah, I'm gonna watch out
Not
for that.
accusing you of being a bot if you're a real hello, but just in case.
Yeah, no, I don't blame you. That is a little. I've seen that happen. Like the last few people that I've seen, that have gotten followers on Twitch have been bots, and then they get like not fully bot rated, but like a few at least. So
yeah,
keep an eye on that. Anyways, anyone else that you trust, Bea? Sorry, you said 7 and Santa.
Oh, and I actually kind of trust Lotus right now.
Okay, cool.
I didn't trust her in the first playthrough, but now that we've been going around with her, I think she's just mean. I don't think she's like evil. I think she's just mean.
That's valid.
You know, at first you didn't trust her, but now that you're on the other side of a door that was locked, yeah, you trust her.
I think that's one of my favorite things about this game is that like it really shows that like you never really know who's who's on the up and up and who's not, and different every playthrough is a different perspective and you learn something different, and I just love that so much.
Mhm.
Well, I guess we want to go ahead and dive into it. Start off back from where we were. I just love that the axe is just sitting there now. So great.
It's haunting me.
Mm-hmm. The good thing about this is that at some point we're gonna run into a dialogue that we've already seen before, so we'll be able to skip a chunk of stuff.
Yeah.
A metal grate stretched from wall to wall. Beyond it were 2 elevators and the entrance to the kitchen.
The elevators are over there, so that means...
We went into the kitchen through that door and came out on this side.
That means the map was right.
Looks like.
Then let's use it to plan our next move.
Next move?
Yeah, we need to decide where to go from here, don't we?
He's right. Let's get started.
From the looks of it, there are 4 possible routes. Let's just keep it simple and call them A, B, C, and D. First, A and B.
They both seem to connect to a room that looks L-shaped.
Yeah, there were 2 doors. But they were both locked. We couldn't open them.
Now, this goes all the way to the main staircase.
That means it's door 5, one of the numbered doors.
Then do you think we would meet up with the other 4 after this hallway?
No, I don't think we will.
Why not?
Look, there by the stairs. See how the gate is opened? When we went into the kitchen, it was closed. But it's open now. What do you think that means?
They opened it.
Most likely.
And if we take Route C, we're going backwards.
That would be pointless.
Then that means...
All 4 looked at the map. They all looked at the staircase, its lazy curve leading down deeper into the ship.
Route D, then.
D it is.
Yup, Route D.
Then we're set.
They jogged down the stairs until they reached the C deck.
Everything looks okay here.
Let's check the next deck just to be sure.
Yeah, just like I thought. D-deck is totally underwater.
Just like the bottom of the central staircase.
The water gazed back at them, its smooth surface like a great mirror.
At least the water level hasn't really changed.
Small comfort.
May as well head back to C deck.
What else is here?
There are 2 elevators over there at the top of the stairs, just like the floor above.
Hold on. These are kind of different. See? There's a card reader on the side.
Another strange mark.
Hey, look! It's Lotus's symbol.
Huh?
See? It's the woman symbol with horns on it. That seems like... Oh! Ouch! 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 Ouch!
Lotus had taken hold of Junpei's hair. She began to shake him violently, and he thought he heard a low growl coming from her throat.
What was that about the mark again?
Nothing.
Such violence. Junpei began to wonder if she was not the devil itself. With an uncomfortable smile, June spoke up.
This is a Mercury symbol. The horns symbolize the wings on Hermes' staff.
Hermes, herpes, whatever. If we can't get this thing to work, these elevators
Such
aren't going
good
anywhere.
insight, Santa. Thank you.
Such a vital member of this team. Hi, Floor. Hello. How are you today?
In other words, we need a key card with the Mercury symbol on it.
Probably.
I guess we can't get on then. Let's just disregard the elevators for now.
How about this hallway on the left?
Whoa.
Oh, you mean the place
There's
where
so
we
many
died
doors.
last time?
They weren't sure how many, but certainly enough to be discouraging.
Damn it. If we try and search all these, the sun's gonna go down before we've done half of them.
I think the sun already set.
I have a feeling this ship is the only thing that's going to be going down anytime soon.
That's even worse.
Well, we can come back to this hallway later. Let's check the hallway on the other side, shall we?
Time to head back to the stairs.
To their right was a small hallway.
And now the right hallway.
Quickly, they headed into it. It was approximately the same size as the alcove in front of the stairs. The hallway led toward the stern, and at its end was a set of double doors.
There are doors here too. Well, I guess it's just 4 this time.
Let's open them.
All right, let's start with this one.
Junpei nodded and grabbed the one closest to him. He gave it a small tug and felt it move.
Oh, it isn't locked. I'm going to open it.
Thrilled to have found an unlocked door, he threw it open. Junpei didn't know what to make of what he saw.
What?
Hey, look where we are.
Our favorite room.
He simply stood, unable to speak. The others simply stared, open-mouthed. After a few long moments, Santa managed to speak.
What the hell is this? This place is huge.
A massive room stretched out in front of them, more a cavern than a room. Its vastness was oppressive, and it bore down on the 4 companions. It was not empty, however. The entire room was filled with lines upon lines of beds.
Oh, there are beds everywhere.
They were simple things, little more than pipe and thin mattresses.
Is this a hospital?
He had at last been able to put a name to the harsh scent that pervaded the room.
It definitely has the smell.
Could be. I see medicine cabinets and surgical tools.
Hey, look there. The 4 doors at the end.
3 of them were emblazoned with the large single-digit numbers made of thick red paint.
The left door says 3. The second door is blank, but the third has a 7. And the rightmost door is 8. There's no doubt. They're numbered doors.
Why is the second door blank? That seems kind of strange, don't you think?
No point worrying about it right now. Let's see if these will open first.
Yes, that sounds like a good plan.
Junpei headed toward the doors, weaving his way between the beds. He started with door 3 on the left and moved to the right until he reached door 8.
Oh, it's no use.
Well, of course. If it was that easy to open these doors, what would be the point of the notary game? We have to activate the red, or the numbered doors won't... Wait a minute.
What's wrong?
Look, the display on the red. There's nothing on it.
Huh?
Don't you remember? The red at the central staircase? If no one was inside, it said vacant.
Oh yeah, you're right.
But this one,
There's nothing on it.
right?
I wonder if it's broken.
Only one way to find out.
It's not responding.
All 4 took turns placing their hands over the red, but it refused to respond. They pulled at the lever, and still it did nothing. As they soon discovered, it wasn't only the red for door 8 that was behaving strangely.
How about the red on door 7? And door 3?
None of them are working.
What does it mean?
I knew it. They're broken. Zero sure sucks at maintenance.
No, that's impossible. You really think Zero, who prepared all of this, would make such a stupid, simple mistake?
Maybe, but that doesn't explain why this thing ain't working.
It was at that moment that they heard a voice from behind them. Yes, deja vu.
I believe the bottom of the device has been removed.
They spun around to see,
Snake!
but it was more than just Snake.
Ace! Clover! 7!
Although they were glad to see one another, it wasn't terribly surprising that they had. If it had been the other party who'd opened the gate in front of the kitchen, it wasn't unreasonable that they'd bump into one another eventually. The rest of Snake's team, however, did look rather surprised.
How did you end up here?
Hit my mic, sorry.
That's my line?
Perhaps we should exchange information.
After a moment of silence and surprise, everyone suddenly began to talk, desperate to exchange information. They talked about the rooms they'd been through and how they'd ended up in the same place. Of course, none of it was very useful information, but that hardly mattered. They were happy to simply see one another again. Although the level of cheer varied greatly from person to person, each one of them was wearing some manner of smile, almost as though they had already forgotten about the death of the ninth man. No, thought Junpei, perhaps that wasn't it. Perhaps the thoughts of his death were what drove them to smile at one another. Not in a morbid or hateful way, no, the ninth man had died, but they were still alive, and that was something to be happy about. A sort of simple, uncomplicated joy, Junpei thought, the joy of being alive. Still alive. He felt sorry for the ninth man, but more than anything, Junpei was just happy to be alive. Okay, I think we're getting to the point now where...
There you have it. Our half of the
menu. I think I can... Nope, not yet. Okay. Just kidding.
Could be soon.
Yeah, I always forget, like, where the break is. His part finished, Ace fell silent. For a moment, Junpei was silent in thought. Then he spoke.
Okay, let me see if I got all this straight. When you guys got here, the bases for the Reds were already gone.
And you looked all over this room, but you couldn't find anything.
So you figured that there might be something in the hallway with all the doors.
So you went and had a look?
Yeah.
And while you were looking around, you heard voices.
Uh-huh. So you followed the voices and came back here.
Indeed. And that was how we found you.
Why don't we check those 3 Reds again, just in case?
You're right. Huh. There's a long, thin gap on the bottom. I think it's a slot for something. Probably electronic.
Well, this isn't good. If the red is inactive, we can't keep going.
Well, what about that hallway over there? Isn't there anywhere else we can go?
No, there isn't. There are plenty more hospital rooms, but nothing else.
Hospital rooms. That's what's behind all those doors?
Yes. There are a number of individual rooms in addition to this large one.
There was a door at the end of the hallway, but it was locked.
There was an astrological symbol engraved near the keyhole, however. I was able to get a good feel of it. I believe it was the symbol of Jupiter.
Not again. Those goddamn things are everywhere.
Yeah.
I wonder what they all mean.
For a moment, everyone was silent, deep in thought.
While we're asking what things mean, what's the deal with this room? I mean, I thought this was a cruise ship, but I can't imagine a cruise ship would have a hospital like this.
Of all people, it was Seven who answered, and with calm confidence.
Well, I figure it's probably a hospital ship. Chances are it's the Gigantic.
The Gigantic?
Junpei looked confused. So did everyone else.
What is this Gigantic?
Seven knit his brows for a moment, then began to explain.
The Gigantic. She was a sister ship to the Titanic, built in the early 20th century. Actually, the Titanic had 2 sister ships, and they looked exactly the same.
Yosh, don't. Alcohol poisoning.
The Gigantic was said to be one of them. They intended to make her a passenger liner like the Titanic, but World War I began soon after the ship launched. The British Navy took her over and made her a hospital ship. At some point during the war, the Gigantic was damaged by a German mine in the Aegean Sea. She ran aground afterwards, so she didn't end up sunk. What happened to her after that? One theory going around is that a man named Lord Gordain bought her. Seemed like he'd been one of the few to survive the Titanic sinking. That trauma turned him into some kind of obsessive collector of all things related to the Titanic. Soon enough, the guy wanted the Titanic itself, which was impossible, of course. It's stuck at the bottom of the Atlantic Ocean. But the Gigantic wasn't. And seeing as she was identical...
So you're saying this Lord Gordain bought this ship?
Yeah, at least I think I am.
That's impossible. No way we're in some boat that's almost 100 years old.
Pipe down, just pay attention. What, that's it? Well, have you got any proof?
Proof?
Proof that this ship is really the Gigantic.
Well...
I love how Lotus is like, hey Santa, shut up. Wait, Seven, are you sure?
This ship's got
Duality.
stuff that's like the Titanic and a hospital ship. So, I just figured...
Oh, for goodness. Don't tell me that's your only reason.
No, I've got more.
Like?
Well, I mean...
Seven looked around desperately, doing anything to avoid meeting Lotus's piercing stare. He scratched his head for a moment, then gave up. Finally, he opened his mouth.
I don't know.
Lotus sighed and shook her head.
I guess your memory isn't back yet, is it?
Yeah. Sorry about that.
Hey, whoa, wait a minute. Memory isn't back?
Junpei was, he felt, legitimately shocked by what seemed to be new and very important information. Everyone else, however, seemed unimpressed. In fact, they all looked at Junpei as though he had said something very strange.
Yeah.
Your point being?
He decided to revise his attitude for the next question.
Wait, was I the only one that didn't know?
Everyone nodded.
Why?
Oh, yeah. I guess I didn't tell you, huh? I told the rest of them before we ran into you on the stairs. I told them I couldn't remember a damn thing from before I woke up.
What?
Then, almost as if to save Junpei from further embarrassment, a bell began to ring from far away.
Huh.
It sounds like the clock in the main stairway.
Junpei counted each chime carefully.
10, 11, 12. 12.
It's midnight. Then we've still got 6 hours left, right?
We don't have any time to screw around. Let's get going. We gotta find the missing parts for the Reds.
What do you mean, find? How on earth do you propose we do that?
We've looked everywhere in this room. That only leaves one place to look.
One?
Well, not just one.
Wait. Don't tell me you mean we need to search all of the other rooms.
Don't freak out. We've already searched 4 of them.
4 rooms?
We just have to split up the rest between the 8 of us. If each of us can do 6 rooms apiece, we'll have the other 48 rooms cleared in no time.
There are 48 other rooms?
Her earlier experiences had apparently not encouraged Lotus to trust Seven. Seven scratched his head awkwardly.
That's also not what you said, Lotus.
Alright, so everyone knows which area they're searching?
Yeah.
Yes!
Junpei was chosen to search the rooms on the starboard side, moving from fore to aft.
We'll all meet up when the clock goes off again. How about in that room with all the beds?
Yeah. Sounds straightforward enough.
I'll shout if I find any of the components we need.
I hope we can find them within the time limit.
If we can't, then we'll just have to come up with another plan.
Right. Then let's do this.
Okay, now will it let me skip? Nope, shit. The details decided they left to begin searching. Out into the hallway they went, each to the rooms they'd been assigned. However, from far away, Junpei heard the bell ring. It did so only once. It was 1 a.m.
It's 1. I better get back to the others.
He jogged through the entrance of the large hospital room to find 6 of the others already there.
Huh?
Will it let me skip now? Haha, there we go.
There we go.
Oh god, I hate that. When it takes time to like look at everybody, it's like, we gotta go through the whole things. So yeah, so this is basically the same as what happened in the other playthrough, at least this chunk of it. One of the great things about a lot of visual novels is that it allows you to just kind of go through stuff very quick. Well, relatively quickly. Very quickly might be a bit of an exaggeration. Yeah, unfortunately, Bea, we do not have Snake at this time, and so now we're looking for him again.
Yeah, it's almost like sending him to look for anything himself isn't the best idea.
Yeah. So it doesn't, there's really no, from what I understand, there's no matter what order, so I'm just gonna do the same order as we did last time.
That sounds fine.
Yeah, these don't really matter at all.
Yeah.
Last time I was like, hey, these are really important decisions, but they really aren't.
Yeah. And it's just faster to like just say the thing that'll let us skip through the dialogue, so.
Yeah.
Does Snake just always die in this game? You're not gonna tell me, but...
And it's up to you to save him. Try your best.
That's the actual goal of Zero Escape. Is to save
The
Zero
secret,
Snake.
the secret ending where you manage to save Snake.
Hmm.
Good ol' scooping. I feel like I had something I was gonna ask or say, and I don't remember what it was.
I really don't trust. What's his name? Ace. Which is weird because I
Really?
feel like I really trust him at the beginning.
Yeah.
But
What?
like,
Do you want to say
It's
your
just-
reasoning?
yeah, it was just really suspicious at the last end when he was like, "Oh, I'm gonna talk to Lotus alone for 3 seconds, and then as soon as I say something to Lotus, I'll tell you the same thing, Junpei." And you're just like,
I guess that's fair.
why would you not just? Because he literally, Junpei was like, "What are you guys talking about?" He's like, "I'll tell you in a second. Just let me finish telling Lotus." And you're like, boy, that's suspicious. It sounds like something a killer would do, even though he like kind of sacrificed himself. Like, that's a good way I feel like to gain people's trust. I'm probably wrong. Probably none of them is Zero, and they're all just regular people, but still, the horror.
Yeah, I mean, no, that's fair. I think it's healthy to be suspicious. What door would you like to go through? We already went through door 7, but we could technically go through it again if you wanted, but,
Let's do door 3, because door 3 was the one we didn't go through.
yeah, and that's the one where last time we found Snake's body.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go through there, I guess.
Okay.
I want to go through door number 3.
Nope, you can't.
Huh? Why?
Because it's impossible. If we split ourselves into 3 and 3, then we give up on going through door 3.
Why?
The bracelet numbers for the 6 of us are 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There are 2 combinations that can go through door 3 with 3 people. 3, 4, 5, or 6, 7, 8. That's it. Of course, 2 teams can't go through the same door.
I see. That means one team would get left behind.
That's right.
That doesn't happen if we go through door 7 or 8?
No, they're fine. We've got 3 options.
Santa begin to explain.
Option A, have 3, 5, and 8 go through door 7, and 4, 6, 7 go through door 8. Option B, 4, 5, and 7 go through 7, and 3, 6, and 8 go through 8. Option C, 3, 6, and 7 go through 7, and 4, 5, and 8 get 8. Those are the only 3 options. That's it. At least if we want to get all 6 of us out of here.
Wait.
That was when Junpei realized. Plan A divides into 2 teams. 3, 5, 8, and 4, 6, 7. Plan B divides into 2 teams. 4,
Which
5,
one
7.
is Junpei again? He's 5.
He's 5,
right?
yes.
Yeah.
4, 5, 7, and 3, 6, 8. Plan C divides into 2 teams. 3, 6, 7, and 4, 5, 8.
But that means
There was one thing they all had in common.
5 and 6 can never be on the same team. If we want all 6 of us to go through a door, then June and I can't go into the same one.
June and Junpei had been friends when they were kids. He trusted her more than anyone else on the ship. If he chose 7 or 8, he'd be taken away from her. Was that something he was prepared to do?
Have you mulled it over enough, or do you need more time? Anyway, that's the deal, so think it over. You've got 2 choices, 7 or 8. You can't choose 3. If you choose 3, you're gonna be leaving 3 people behind to die.
I also always forget what number Junpei is, and because of the fact that his name is not a number, yeah, that's valid. It's easy to be like, wait, who the hell's 5? And then it's like, oh, I'm 5.
So what are you gonna do? 7 or 8?
Okay, I guess we'll go through 8.
Junpei thought hard. After thinking over, his conclusion was, you can just go ahead and go through door 3. It will let you do it.
Yeah, you can just say, screw you all, I'm going to door 3.
I'm worried though that that's gonna make somebody kill Junpei.
I don't know. I
I mean,
if you did, at least you get a different ending.
I mean, last time we saw that Snake was behind door 3.
Yeah, and also Junpei died in their last ending anyways, so...
Let's do it. We've come this far.
Okay.
We'll do 8 next time.
Sorry,
Make
Santa,
mad.
but I still want to go through door 3.
What? That's nuts! You've got to be crazy! Why the hell are you so obsessed with that door?
I'm just...
Junpei paused. He swallowed the words he'd been about to say.
I'm just curious about door 3. That's all.
That doesn't explain shit!
I've got a reason. I'd be happy to explain it to you if you'll just come with me.
With that, he began walking toward the door. Their curiosity likely getting the better of them, the others followed. A few of them looked a little suspicious, but Junpei told himself that it wouldn't matter. Hi, Fatal! Hello! He kept walking and kept silent. Eventually, they arrived at the number 3 door. Junpei stopped.
I'm curious about the red. 7, would you mind authenticating for me?
What? Why?
Please, just do it.
He stared at Junpei for a moment, then grunted and laid his palm heavily on the scanner.
Happy?
Yeah, thanks. The number 7 has been entered into the red. Next is June. Please touch the red just like 7 did.
Jumpy, what are you trying to figure out?
Yep. I think
Junpei thought about his answer for a moment.
I might have found another way out.
What?
What?
Really?
That got them excited. Just as Junpei had intended.
Now please, June?
Oh, okay.
7 plus 6 equals 13. 1 plus 3 equals 4. With those 2 numbers in the red, Junpei had what he wanted. He casually placed his own hand on the scanner, and the 3rd asterisk blinked on. 4 plus 5 equals 9.
All right. The only people who haven't authenticated now are Santa, Clover, and Lotus.
So, what's your point?
You don't get it. Think about it.
Huh?
What's the sum of your number and Clover's?
12.
And what's the digital root of that?
3.
Which is Santa's number. By the way, Lotus, what's the number that's currently in the red?
7 plus 6 plus 5 equals 18. It would be 9, right?
Yes, and what will the digital root be if you add 3 to that?
3. The door's number.
There you go.
Hey, wait a minute. What the hell are you up to?
I'm not up to anything. I'm just waiting.
Waiting for what?
I'm waiting for the balance to shift. Santa, or Lotus and Clover. Once one of you moves, the others won't have a choice. So I'm waiting.
Junpei laid his hand almost casually on the lever.
You son of a bitch! You tricked us! Then all that stuff you were going on about is all bullshit!
Bullshit? Huh. I don't think so. Didn't I tell you I'd figured out another way to get out of here? This is it.
Why the hell would you do something like this?
Junpei glanced at June.
Jumpy?
You did this just so you could go through the same door as June. That's it?
Santa was furious. His face was red, and flecks of spit flew from his lips as he spoke. Junpei closed his eyes calmly and then opened them again.
So, who's it going to be?
Yeah, Fatal. Junpei is fucking
Santa?
savage sometimes.
Or Lotus and Clover?
Shit!
Did Ace already put his
Let's
hand
go,
on the
Clover.
door?
Did who?
Oh no, Ace is unconscious. I
Yeah,
forgot
yeah.
about that.
Yeah.
Huh?
Lotus leapt forward. She grabbed Clover by the sleeve and ran for Junpei on the door.
Fuck!
Caught by surprise, Santa froze for a moment, then shot forward like a bullet from a gun. Lotus had a head start, but Santa had the advantage in size and speed. Almost immediately, he passed Lotus and Clover.
No, wait!
Santa did not hesitate. He slammed his hand down on the red.
This is insane! This isn't right!
He glared at Junpei, his chest heaving.
Yeah, well, you may be right,
Junpei's voice was cold, but not without effort.
but
He turned to the red and pulled the lever. With the sound of metal on metal, the door opened. It would only remain so for 9 seconds. There was no time to think.
go.
Junpei and his 3 reluctant companions jumped into the door's gaping mouth, one after another. No sooner did they enter than an all too familiar noise sounded from their left wrists. The detonators had activated. Junpei looked back only once and saw Lotus and Clover on the other side of the closing door.
No!
They stood still, stopped where they had been when Santa reached the red. The defeat and desperation on their faces tore at Junpei's heart. Then the door closed and they were gone.
You son of a bitch, Junpei! This isn't fair!
Santa rounded on Junpei, lightning crackling in his eyes and his knuckles white.
Do you realize what you just did? You leave them out there, and they can't...
Shut it! That's enough!
It hadn't been Junpei that spoke, but Seven.
We gotta find the dead or none of this is gonna matter!
The clock was ticking. The dead was their only chance at survival. Unless they could find it and deactivate their detonators, the 4 of them would be...
We got less than a minute left! No time for screwing around! Get moving!
Damn it! You and I are not done yet, bastard!
They scattered and began to scour the room. The deactivation device was nowhere to be found.
Where? Where the hell is it?
Corridors stretched out in 3 directions, but everyone was blocked off by a wall of metal. There was only one way out. One other door.
Over there! It's gotta be behind the door!
Seven ran for the door, a rusty iron thing. His large hands grabbed hold of the handle and pulled.
Damn, it's pitch dark inside.
Can't see a thing!
Junpei stuck his head through the door and looked around the room.
No, wait!
Almost immediately, he spotted the blinking red light on the right wall.
I found it! The dead's right over here!
He stepped into the room.
Ugh. What? The floor's slippery!
He stopped and glanced down at his feet. What was...
Hey! What the hell are you doing?
There's something...
Get over there!
Junpei felt Seven's heavy hand against his back and stumbled across the room. The other 3 piled in behind him. They all felt immediately that something was wrong. Nothing that could be easily identified, only a sense that something terrible shared the room with them. But there was no time to say so.
Quick! Get to the dead!
They all started running. In the dark, it was hard to tell where the wall was. All they could see was the tiny red light blinking at them over and over and over.
There it is!
That there were words on the wall last time.
Yeah.
The letters.
It's easy to gloss over.
This is terrible.
In quick succession, they all slammed their hands against the scanner panel. Seven leaned against the wall, gulping air. As his breathing began to return to normal, he glanced at his left wrist and grunted.
It stopped. It stopped.
Yeah, Fatal, this is a very intense one. Junpei could hear him laughing in the dark, but could barely make out the larger man's face.
I don't think I'll ever get used to doing this.
What the...
The sound of retching came from Santa's direction.
What the hell is this smell?
Me too, Flora. I don't know, I never picked the mean option.
This is vile. I'm gonna puke.
So desperate had they been in their race to the dead that no one had noticed the horrible smell that pervaded the room. It was a terrible, nauseating stench, like burnt and rotten meat. Adrenaline had drowned it out, but now it rolled over Junpei in waves, forcing itself into his nose with every breath he took.
Oh, you're right. Oh, this is...
He felt his stomach clench and bile rise up in his throat.
Let's get the lights on first. There's a switch over here.
The light that spilled in from the door barely illuminated a small switch plate next to the door. Bea. Slowly, with the toll of the last few minutes apparent in his gait, Seven walked toward it. He stopped as he got close and extended his fingers toward the switch.
Okay, guys, I'm flipping it on.
Oh, God.
There was a soft click as the lights came on. Just as the light turned on, June took in a short breath. A scream echoed through the room. Junpei's breath stopped in his throat. His heart ceased to beat. Time froze. His mind scrambled to make sense of what he saw before him.
What? Hey.
Oh, this is...
What was left of the body sat in a sea of blood. Chunks of flesh, torn from the body, sat in the blood like tiny islands in a great red sea. A vast, ragged hole had been torn in the torso, and what remained of his intestines spilled out of it like fresh spaghetti. Smaller chunks of meat had splattered against the wall and become stuck there as they dried. Globules of yellowish fat.
Why?
I was not expecting that. Hi, Kevin.
God.
Oh no. Oh, talk about perfect timing. Yeah, you did. Hi, welcome to the murder scene. Wow, that was beautiful. Ooh, okay.
Why does this keep happening?
I
How
don't
do I
know.
stop it from
I know, I'm sorry. Double murder, yes, absolutely.
Double homicide.
Yes. I'm sorry you have to witness this, Bea.
Oh my gosh. No, you're not.
I mean, I'm a little sorry, but only a little. I've had like a decade almost to come to terms with this, so, you know, it's okay. Globules of yellowish fat had left trails like tiny slugs as gravity pulled them down the wall, even as they dried to it.
Looks like an explosion.
Seven's voice was low and strained. Damn it, I wasn't thinking now. I need to wait to clip that. That's okay, Fatal.
Just like the knife man.
Thanks for the effort.
The detonator in his bracelet set off the bomb in his gut.
Oh god. The bone is coming out of his left arm.
It's definitely an open fracture.
It looked as though the explosion had been quite powerful. His legs were both bent in an odd, unnatural way, and his left arm had split open, exposing the painfully white bone of his ulna.
Gross this was.
What?
I forgot how gross this was.
Yeah. His bracelet lay next to him. It seemed to have hit the wall hard enough to have shattered the display, which lay on the ground in pieces.
Face is the worst.
Yeah, you can't even tell who it is.
Half of his head had simply collapsed. The blood coating almost made it look like raw pizza dough covered in tomato sauce. His clothes, too, were covered in blood. The burgundy tie, the white shirt, the jacket with the yellow piping, and the gray slacks.
But the clothes are...
They were all familiar to Junpei.
Is that... Snake?
Santa's voice wavered as he spoke, his mouth dry.
Oh my god.
Finally, Junpei spoke.
Why did this happen?
Suddenly, June was screaming, her voice broken. It was an eerie scream full of insanity and not entirely human.
No!
She shook her head violently and grabbed fistfuls of her own hair. Junpei could hear the sound of hair tearing.
Stop! Calm down.
Yeah, sorry, Fatal. He grabbed for her wrist.
Hey!
But as he did, June leapt up and ran toward the exit.
Please! Get me out of here! You have to let me out of here!
She screamed at the door and her fist slammed against it with a hollow sound. Junpei could see drops of blood on her knuckles.
Why are you doing these horrible things to us? What did we do to deserve this?
June.
She screamed again, a desperate, mindless cry. Her fists flailed against the door.
Get me out of here! Please! Please, just let me out!
Yeah, this is easily like the
June.
goriest section of this game. Like, it's intense. Junpei couldn't watch anymore. He ran to June and wrapped his arm around her, pulling the screaming girl away from the door.
Calm down.
No! Get off of me! Let me go! Let me go!
Please, calm down.
She scrambled for a moment, her legs skittering across the floor, but her resistance didn't last long. As suddenly as her outburst had begun, it was over. The manic energy disappeared, and her body went limp in Junpei's arms. June collapsed toward the floor, and Junpei knelt down with her. He felt drops of something warm and wet. Was she crying? A moment later, she began to sob. Her shoulders shook, and great hot tears spilled down her face like rain.
We're gonna be fine. It's gonna be alright, June. It's going to be okay, Connie.
Her name was a whisper.
I'll be here with you, okay?
She nodded once.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Jumpy.
Her trembling voice pulled at Junpei's heart. He stroked her
Rest
hair
your
gently.
head on my plush. I forgot what that's called. A vest.
That's why he wore all those layers, to give her a nice little cushion.
You had to comfort her.
His face was so close to her. The scent of her hair was nostalgic.
Do you feel better?
Yes. But I'd like to stay here. For a little while, at least. Jumpy's body is so warm.
Fatal, Clover is not in this room with us. I guess you came in right afterwards. It's Junpei, Akane, or June, Seven, and, Santa. Lotus, Ace, and Clover are not in this room right now, which is why she's being quiet, because she's not here. But that is valid. If that was the case, that would be a valid point. Excuse me. Also, yes, freeze is a valid response, like Fleur said. That is also fair. Several minutes passed before June's tears had dried. Junpei stood up. He bent down, put his arms under June's, and helped her to her feet. They didn't speak. Neither did Seven or Santa. A person was dead. They had died in that room in a terrible way. Junpei knew there was no way he could make himself forget that. Excuse me. There was no way any of them could forget it, but mourning would do no good. They spread out to search the room, but each felt as if their heart was made of lead.
We better get to it.
So after that traumatic experience, are you ready for an escape room, Bea?
I wish that we had video cameras right now so you could see the look on my face.
It's a day. It's a time.
It's something, alright.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
So,
I'm trying to escape out of the death room?
Yeah.
Good news, we found Snake.
Ouch.
Finally.
I'm gonna go ahead and
really worried about him.
save real quick.
I'm glad that we found Snake safe and sound and that, you know, we were able to save him this time around, because if I had to go through another time where he was dead, that would have just been really sad.
Yeah, cabbage. Good news, we found him. Bad news, we found, like, parts of him.
Oh, yeah, all in the same place and all together.
Yeah, you know, like a normal human.
Yeah, though he's fine. Here he is, guy. Snake is actually here to talk to let you guys know that he's good. Hey guys, it's me, Snake. I don't have anything quippy or fun to say right now, but I am alive and well.
Wow, it's Snake, guys.
Wow,
He's here.
I can't believe he's here. That's so amazing. Thank you for joining us today, Snake. How did you find time out of your busy schedule to come talk to us?
Well, you know, after we all escaped the boat safely and alive and in one piece, we all just sort of started doing our own stuff, and now I'm a streamer on Twitch too. Is this the new stream?
Wow.
Is just catching up with Snake?
Yeah, I think we make a whole podcast out of it.
I have a flawless Taliesin Jaffe.
Yeah, I was gonna say
my exact same voice. Just smoother.
Hold on one second.
Also, I love how out of the two rooms we could have gone to, we went to the room that has 4 people. Now that we are only 3 people.
Oh my god.
So one of us probably has to voice 2 characters.
Well, you know, we did our best. We planned really well. I just was hoping, I don't know why, but I was thinking if we went into this room first, maybe he'd be in there alive. I realize that's not possible, but like, I had a hope.
Yeah, that's why I expected you to choose door 3 this time. And seems like I was right.
Yeah. It's pretty good.
I had hopes, okay?
Snake is thriving or Snake Gay 2021. Yep.
Okay.
Well, you ready to play a fun little game?
So ready. Can we look at the letters that are on the wall?
Those letters written in blood. LLR. Do you think that might be some sort of dying message from Snake?
No, that's impossible. You saw the body. You aren't doing anything after something like that happens to you.
Then this...
The way the blood's dry tells you it's weird old. Whoever's blood this is, it ain't Snake's.
Then you're saying this blood was put here a long time ago?
Yeah.
Well, I hate that. Okay, let's get out of there. I don't want to look at... Can we look at the shower things?
Alright, let's see if anything happens when I turn you. Nope, nothing. Not even a drop. Is the pipe clogged? Let's see if the shower works. There's more. There's water coming out of the shower head. Let's see if... Shit, that's hot. Really hot. Man, that water must be just about boiling.
Which shower head was that from?
So I clicked on this one, but it like highlighted all three.
Highlighted all of them, okay.
Yeah. So I guess it's these ones work, these ones don't. That's what
Okay.
it seems like.
Can we click on that little like panel thing? Oh, okay, so it's like water. Can you click on that little tag?
There's a piece of paper tied to this pipe with a wire. Notice, drainage valve operation. Please do not flush the water in these pipes. Doing so may cause the drain to overflow.
Okay. It's obviously part of the puzzle, but I don't know what to do with it yet, so I don't want to touch anything.
That's fair.
I guess let's go to the left again. Can we go look at the little stall thingies?
I don't know if it'll let me. Oh,
Oh,
it will.
okay.
It will. Okay. Do you want to read this, Yosh?
Should I do Center and 7 or
I
does
guess I don't.
does June talk a lot here?
I know she talks some. I just don't know how much.
I can do Santa.
Okay.
Okay.
I already checked all 3 toilets, you know. Nothing unusual there.
Okay, so
Thank you for the input. And click on the door on the far side. Okay.
It's a card slot. Come on, man, you know, for swiping a card, looking among us.
Oh my god. Pretty
Everywhere we
sus of
go.
you, 7. Nothing happens when I press these buttons.
Well, it looks like the power's on. I'm wondering what the deal is with those things that say lock up there, though.
Hi, Mike. Welcome in. What an entrance you had to witness. So yeah.
Can we press on the lock?
On the what?
The lock text.
Oh, the text. I'm sorry. I was.
It looks like the red light is off.
Yeah, and it still says lock.
Lock, huh? There's a blue light right next to it, but it's off.
Does it matter which one? Or do I just keep pushing one of them? I'm gonna...
I think maybe we gotta disable the lock first.
Oops. I know, Santa. I didn't mean
Maybe
to click
we have
you.
to disable those 2 things that say lock.
So Tunnel left from the red light. Wishing doesn't seem to be a very effective way of getting lights to turn on. Okay, I think that's it.
Can we click on that thing on the wall, that little circle thing? That's a clock. Oh.
The confidence.
It's a thermometer. Can you get it off?
No, it's screwed onto the wall.
Why was that so... Okay. Okay. So... Can you click on that shower?
Does not look like it will let me from this angle.
Okay. Can we click on the drain on the floor? There you go. It looks like a card. Like a key card. I wonder if we can get to it somehow.
Don't think so. It's too deep. I can't reach it.
Oh, here's all the pieces are coming together. So let's go flood the room, I guess.
I like how you say that so cat. Just like, I guess. Okay. I don't know what way you want these to go. Or if it... Because I don't think it'll let us turn them on with just...
Anything I might be able to use that for? I don't know, Junpei. Okay, let's... I feel like the LLR means something, but I don't really know what.
That's fair.
Okay.
We can keep looking too if you want. We don't have to do it right away.
Oh, yes, we do.
Okay.
we can keep looking. Let's keep looking for a couple of minutes, because I just want to make sure that we look at everything. Can we look in those stalls at all? What do you think this is? It looks like tar. Kind of sticky. I don't think we can just wipe it off. Doubt just pouring some water on it is gonna help much either. What about hot water? Hot water? If we had some really hot water, like boiling hot, then maybe that would wash it off.
Thank you for talking to yourself.
Very cool. I feel like Matt Mercer.
For real. So there's that.
Okay. It's a water tank for a toilet.
I've seen a lot of you guys try and hide a piece on something like this. Usually for when it's similar or something. Guess they think it's clever. Don't know when they figure out everybody else's things. It's clever too.
Huh? I mean, I know peace, but what's OC?
Organized crime.
What is that? Some kind of police slang?
Huh? Probably.
Huh? What'd I say? Why does he look all sad now?
That's not really important right now, guys. Let's just check it out, alright?
Well, he's not wasting any time.
Oh, screwdriver. The toilet's tank. Doesn't look like the pipes that are supposed to take water to it are working.
Hey, there's something in there. You see it?
I know, I was trying to click on it.
It's a screwdriver. We can unscrew things with this. Is there something we needed to unscrew somewhere? I feel like they're giving us a lot more hints this time around.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's leave the toilet, I suppose. Can we look at any of the other toilets or not really? Oh, a bucket. Oh, I wish Eli was here. I have a joke to make, but she's the only one that would get it.
Oh wait, who?
Eli.
Oh.
Hey, Jumpy.
Oh, shit.
And all they gave you was a sponge and a bucket like this.
Hey, come on now. Can't we just leave the past in the past? I don't. Does it say the same thing again? No, shit. I don't remember what she said.
It's a tin bucket. Do you remember back in elementary school when you spilled Oliver paint across the whole classroom?
Oh.
They made you clean it up, and all they gave you was a sponge in a bucket like this.
Gotcha. Flashback. Junpei reached for the broom, and as he grabbed it, he heard a soft voice from behind him. It was June.
The rabbit hutch.
Huh?
He turned around. June still looked sadly pale, but there was a smile on her face.
Oh, you just reminded me of it. The rabbit hutch, I mean.
How did I remind you of something like that?
Jumpy and the broom. You're always playing around with the broom in front of the rabbit hutch.
I was.
Don't you remember?
Junpei stared at the broom in his hand.
You mean, you don't remember that summer either?
She looked very sad. He shook his head.
Of course I remember. How could I forget something like that? It was terrible.
They were in the 6th grade. Junpei and June had been assigned to take care of the classroom pets, the rabbits. Their chief duty was to clean the hutches every morning. On the final day of school before summer vacation began, Junpei overslept. He rushed to school and found June standing in front of the rabbit hutches. No sooner had Junpei arrived than June began to cry. He had no idea why until he looked behind her into the rabbit hutch. The first thing he saw was blood. The hutch was filled with the dead bodies of the rabbits. Even after their teachers and friends came to see what the commotion was, June couldn't stop crying.
I just kept crying and crying until you came over. You held my hand, and you looked very serious, and you said, "Don't cry. I'm gonna catch the person who did this." After you told me that, I finally stopped crying.
Well, the real fun started after you quit crying. You told me we were gonna catch the killer together.
June smiled, and a little of the flush of life returned to her cheeks.
Then we decided that we'd ambush them.
Yeah, I remember.
The school also kept roosters and guinea pigs. Oh no, Yosh! No!
Oh my god.
Junpei...
Josh.
Junpei and June had decided the murderer would likely return to finish off the rest of the animals. They would ambush the killer at night. Junpei and June hid behind the hutch at dusk and waited. It was a warm summer night. The quiet sound of crickets whispered through the air. As the sun went down, the stars began to wink at them from the sky. And June's, Akane Kuroshiki's face. That night was something Junpei knew he would never forget as long as he lived.
But the murderer never showed up. We waited for them all summer vacation, and they never showed up.
Yeah, but the animals didn't get attacked either. I think all that work amounted to something, you know?
He'd felt the same way, but it was good to hear her say it.
Although, you know, if you think about it, we were probably taking on a lot more than we could handle.
What do you mean?
She looked up at him, confused.
Well, come on, we were just kids. If whoever killed the rabbits had actually showed up, they probably would have had a knife or something. I mean, you must have been pretty worried, right?
I wasn't worried because you were there with me.
She blushed furiously.
Well, you know, no one else wanted to take care of the animals.
Clearly embarrassed, she tried desperately to change the subject.
I was the only one who asked to do it at first.
Yeah, well, boys don't really want to bother with taking care of animals, you know.
Well, yeah, but you asked to do it after I did, didn't you?
If it
You know
wasn't the
how
rabbits,
boys
they were
don't
gonna
care
make me do
about
something
life.
else. You know how that school was.
Yeah, I can confirm.
She's-
I think it would be better if I was working with somebody who wasn't too much of a loudmouth, right? Somebody who wasn't going to tell on me if I felt like blowing it off.
Really? That's why you volunteered?
Yeah.
He nodded quickly and much too earnestly, and then quickly looked away at something very important.
Really?
Of course.
That hadn't been the reason, of course. He had asked to take care of the rabbits so that he could be near June. But it had been so long ago, he couldn't bring himself to tell her about how he'd felt back then. It would be embarrassing. He took a quick breath to clear his head, tossed the broom up, and then snatched it out of the air.
Well, we don't really have time to be walking down memory lane like this, you know? We've got to figure out a way out of this room. Otherwise...
Yes. I'm gonna look over there.
This music is giving me Totoro vibes. That's valid. I love that song. June nodded curtly, then turned and walked away.
I should get back to it myself. Ah! That's right. The pool of blood.
You know, just casually
Just
forgets.
casually stepping in.
Snake's like, oh, sorry, am I interrupting? Junpei turned around and looked at the room, at Snake's body. Chunks of flesh and organs still lay on the floor.
Going on and on about old times right next to a corpse? What were we doing? Well, maybe it was because we're in this mess.
Silly us.
You know.
We're so weird. What's wrong with us?
Oops.
Classic June and Junpei.
Iconic. Despite such a situation, or perhaps because of it, the mind turned to the farthest thing from death that it could find. Still, Junpei couldn't help but feel a twinge of guilt at wanting so desperately to live when Snake lay dead before him.
I have to survive, no matter the cost. I need to make sure she gets out too.
As he stared at the clumps of blackened flesh, all Junpei could think of was how much he wanted to live.
You know, the farthest thing from death, dead bunnies.
Totally.
What are you doing with the broom? You know, if you look at it real close, you can see it's got these lines cut in it that kind of spiral up the shaft.
Santa, what are you? Okay, wow.
Can we examine the bucket a few more times?
Okay. Wrong one.
It's a tin bucket. I told you, Jumpy, it's a bucket. You could probably put hot water from the shower in it.
Perfect.
Okay. Fine. So yeah, so that's that room.
Is there? Can we look at any of the other toilets? Yo. There's nothing in the toilet.
If there was, that would be gross.
Thanks, Seven.
Sorry.
There might be something in the tank, you know. Let's open that shit up. It's a red card. Probably a key card. Do you remember if you saw card readers anywhere around here?
The sequence of that is like... Go ahead.
I was just gonna say they're really laying on the hints real
Yeah.
quick this time.
It's like we didn't just have a
Like-
total conversation about it, so it comes across as Seven being like, huh, Junpei, have you happened to see a card reader anywhere?
Alright, let's flood the room.
Can we examine those lights up there?
Oh, I totally didn't even see the lights. This light bulb provides light for this room.
Still nothing.
Nope.
Good catch though, yeah. I can't believe I didn't. Let's flood the room. I don't know how, but let's do it.
I don't know how either, but there are a couple other things that we could do.
Okay, let's go crack open that clock on the wall. You know, the weather clock.
Yeah, the weather clock, totally.
Hey, Junpei,
Look, I know
Oh
what
shit,
I'm
I
about.
just noticed that we're on the fucking adventure screen.
you know why thermometers only go up to 107 degrees Fahrenheit?
Oh boy.
Junpei answered without taking his eyes off the screw.
No, I can't say I ever thought about that.
At 107 degrees, the cells in the human body start to die, and the organs begin to shut down. The proteins in your cells start to harden. It's like when you hard-boil an egg. Even if you cool it down afterwards, it won't go back to being a raw egg. In other words, it's dead. That's why thermometers don't go past 107. There's no point.
Yeah, the speech, yeah.
Look at this egg.
Imagine an egg.
Imagine an egg.
Why had Santa brought that up? Junpei just wondered.
Oh yeah?
He continued to work at the screw.
But it's pretty rare for a fever to get that high. Even viruses and stuff don't usually drive the body temperature up to 107. Of course, there are other external things that could.
Like what?
Well, let's see. Something like getting locked in a sauna. Or getting thrown into an incinerator and burnt to death.
Yeah, I guess that would get a little hotter than 107 degrees Fahrenheit.
Junpei gave a short barking laugh. God, I always forget about this bit. A moment later, the screw fell off. With a small tug, Junpei pulled the thermometer from the wall.
All right, I got it.
He looked up and saw Santa glaring at a blank section of wall.
Huh? What's up?
Nothing. Forget about it.
It's 2 shots right there.
Santa spun around and walked off, away from Junpei.
What was that all about?
But as Junpei watched him go, he didn't look angry. He looked very, very sad.
Just took the thermometer? Okay. Oh, you took the thermometer off. It says open at the bottom of the gauge. I wonder what it means.
Maybe when it gets that hot, something will open.
Uh-huh. Okay. Let's put the thermometer under the hot water and see if that does anything.
Yeah, if I can get this hot water on the thermometer, then maybe... Alright, thermometer, let's get this party started. Yep, looks like that's doing the trick. There goes the gauge. And now it's at the open mark. Huh, it opened. What's this? Looks like there's a piece of paper in here. 957 plus.
957 plus.
That means you're supposed to add something to 957, doesn't it?
Well, yeah, doesn't take a genius to figure that out. Problem is, what to add?
Thanks for that insightful conversation, fellas.
Okay. Let's fill a bucket up with hot water too, I guess, while we're over here.
Maybe I can use the shower here to fill the bucket with hot water. Hey, Seven, could you turn on the shower? I'm gonna put the bucket under the head.
Ah, okay, sure thing.
It's filled with water. Try not to spill it, okay?
It's heavy.
Okay. I'll carry it. Wow.
Some riveting dialogue.
So compelling.
Guess let's take that over to the dirty toilet. Today's episode of Zero Escape, home maintenance.
There's something that looks like tar inside the toilet bowl. If I flush the hot water from the bucket, that should clean it up. Okay, fine. Well. Oh, I have to put it in the thing, don't I? Stop! I didn't click that. Alright, so I just pour the hot water into this tank and...
It looks like you filled it. Now you should be able to flush it, right? There's probably a handle somewhere on the tank that you can pull.
You think so?
Serious? Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Some pipes. Connected to the tank on the toilet. I don't know where the handle is.
Would it be inside the tank?
Oh.
Oh.
I thought it wanted me to specifically look for the
Yeah.
I was like, oh,
I thought so too.
I think there's another puzzle, not in this room, but like in this game that deals with toilets, and I think it also deals with handles, and like it's a whole fucking mess, and I think I got them confused.
That stuff's washed off. Looks like that writing with numbers. See it? George.
185 equals. What is this?
You got me. Just looks like numbers.
Well,
Okay, what's 957 plus 185? Adding it.
time to be a
Well-
math magician.
Right. Well, it's 11
Math and
142,
my 999.
so-
It's more likely than you think.
Okay. So we got two numbers, we got a key card, we got a broom for some reason. And we technically, I guess we have two key cards. So... Can we go look at that, panel on the door again?
This one?
Yeah. Okay, so it is 4 numbers. We probably need that key card to open it. We probably need both key cards to open it.
Maybe.
Okay,
Is this the
can
broom
we-
closet ending? The broom closet ending is my favorite. Yosh. Sorry, babe, what were you gonna ask?
No, it's okay. Can we try flooding the room now?
Oops, that's not what I meant to do. We can try. I don't know if it will let us.
No, with the door.
Oh, like this thing?
Yeah.
What do you want to try?
I don't know. Let's just switch them all.
Do you want like all of them, like? Left,
Yeah,
right?
let's just switch them all.
Perfect. We did it.
Got it in one.
I feel like that LLR has something to do with it, but there's not the right. Like, I don't. Oh, like that, you think?
Maybe, I don't know. I genuinely don't even remember the solution to this puzzle, so.
I feel like there's probably more letters somewhere. Can we click on the little tag again?
The pipe on the right here must be connected to the drain in the middle of the broom. If you turn on the water here, it'll probably come up through the drain.
Oh, that was actually helpful. So I think we need to
So-
stop it from going to other places, maybe?
Yeah, so maybe we need to turn that one all the way on the right to the left.
Oh, shit. I know. Stop! Maybe do all the others need to be left? Or...
Maybe? I don't know.
It all stops them, maybe? I don't know.
Maybe we're missing something for that.
Are we?
Yeah,
Maybe. Who knows?
let's go try to look at some other stuff, I guess. Can we go to the right?
Oh, the right.
And then the right one more time? Can we look at that shelf that's up there? Yeah, we
Oh,
can.
fun.
It's toilet paper with some kind of red symbols on it.
You think maybe that's a... What? how do you... Sidetail cipher?
That's what I would say is Sidetail.
Maybe that's a sidetail cipher?
Sidetail cipher. What the hell is that?
You wrap a piece of paper around a stick and then write several sentences on it so that the whole paper is filled up. Then you unwrap the paper and you can't tell what the original message was, right? That's how it works, more or less. Then, to decipher it, you gotta have a stick that's the same diameter as the original one.
Oh, that's me. Fuck. Same diameter as the original one, huh?
Yeah. Then you just wrap the paper around the stick and you can read the code.
Right.
So I guess let's wrap that around the broom handle.
What if I wrap the toilet paper around the broom?
Oh, so you wrap the toilet paper around the broom, huh? Looks like the symbols line up perfectly. It says 634 plus.
Dancy dance. Oh, wooden box. There's something in here. Oh, we get luminol.
Luminol.
Isn't it weird how the two games that we're playing currently both involve luminol?
The hell is this thing? Some kind of spray bottle? There's something written on it.
Did you go into your Jake Marshall accent?
Oh, no.
No!
There's something written on it.
It kind of sounded like that.
Lumen. Can't read anything else. The label's all faded. The blinds are starting to blur between the two visual novels.
For real.
Let me see
Ace
that.
Attorney, Zero Escape.
There you go. He grabbed it. He just grabbed it from him. That wasn't very nice.
Oh, this is Luminol. You know, forensics guys use the crime scenes.
Oh yeah, that's stuff that glows blue when you spray it on blood. For some reason I had an aneurysm while I was reading that sentence. I was just like, I can't... Words? Even if the blood's been wiped off, it'll still glow.
Fun.
But
Here,
we
click
don't
on
have.
the-
But we don't have our luminol glasses. How can we see it?
Oh, yeah, true.
Oh no.
Where's Emma when you need her?
Can you click on any of those other shelves?
A shelf. There's nothing on it.
Oh. Nuts. Okay, well, I guess let's keep looking around the room. I don't know what to do with the luminol. I mean, obviously Snake's body is there, but
Say we could try doing something over here.
I guess let's try.
Wait. You don't really think we're supposed to use the luminol here, do you?
Oh yeah, because it would show the other.
Yeah, it does seem kind of weird to use it here. But maybe I should try just in case.
Hmm.
Do you have that? Are
Okay.
you writing that down, Bea, or should I?
Yep. Yeah,
Okay.
I wrote it down. Okay, let's go back and flood the room.
I know. Stop. That's not what I hit. Oh, wrong way. Okay, what we doing, boys?
Okay, so the first one on the left is left. The second one on the left is left. The third one should be right.
Okay.
And then left, and then right, and then left.
Well, I did what it said on the wall. I wonder if it actually did anything.
Hey, this drain's acting up. What the hell did you do?
I just messed with the valves a little. Nothing big.
Okay, so I guess let's go peep that. There you go.
There must
the
be water flowing through
card.
the pipe on the right. There's water
Ooh,
pouring out of the drain.
sewage water.
Yummy.
Delish. Okay. Let's... Oh, it's the blue key card.
This is the symbol for Mercury, isn't it? There was an elevator right outside of the big hospital room. I think that same symbol was on the card reader next to it.
That's right.
I guess that means we're not supposed to use this card in this room.
Do you really think so? You don't think maybe we need it for this room and for the elevator? Again. Okay, let's go to the door. Let's swipe the cards, maybe, and then do the red light's on, Jumpy. Great job, Jumpy. Both of the lights are on now. Now you just need to put in the password, which I believe is 1776.
Wow.
Both
how
lights are on.
patriotic.
We should be able to enter the password now.
What's with these E and C keys? Junpei, you piece of shit. You just did a puzzle like this.
E means enter and C means clear, I think. So after you put in the password, hit E. Alright. If you screw it up, hit C.
Yes. Okay, you said 1776?
Mm-hmm.
Yay.
I'm trying to figure out what happened.
What do you mean what happened?
Oh, is the timeline of... Okay.
Yay, you
Well,
escaped.
like- Yeah, historical... There's all kinds of historical events that happened in 1776. I just wanted to know if there was one that was linked to the Titanic.
Okay, gotcha.
Oh,
yeah.
that wouldn't make any sense because the Titanic was in like the late 1800s, early 1900s.
Yeah.
So what I just said was crack.
Yeah, that's okay. I mean, it's worth like questioning and thinking about. Like, you're clearly like in the right kind of peace of mind for this game, so like that's it. That's the important thing. Fatal said, "You found it." Sounds so condescending. Yeah, you're not wrong.
The whole room was condescending.
Yeah, it's not my least favorite of the escape rooms in this game, but it's not my favorite. I'll say that. Excuse me. Outside of the shower room was a hallway that extended off to the left and right.
There's a large iron door at the end.
Let's take a look.
They'd moved a few steps toward the door when Junpei heard the sound of metal on metal.
Huh?
They turned around. Seven was doing something to the door of the shower room.
What are you doing, Seven?
Well, I figure maybe we might want to come back here sometime. So, I stuck the broom in there to keep the door from shutting. Alright, let's go.
With that, he stood up and began walking down the hallway. He brushed past Junpei and kept going. After a moment, the rest of them followed him. Before long, they found themselves at the large iron door. They had only been there for a moment when June spoke up.
Jumpy, look!
He turned. There, on the right side of the hallway, was a piece of paper attached to the wall.
What's up?
What's that on the wall there?
Oh, I think...
Junpei ran over and peeled it off.
A map of the ship's interior?
It says C deck.
So it's the map for this floor then. We'll have time to study it later. Let's keep going for now.
Junpei folded the map and stuffed it into his pocket. Back at the door, the four of them lined up in front of it. Santa stepped forward. He grabbed hold of the door and then turned to look back at the rest of them.
Ready? I'm gonna open it.
They nodded. Santa nodded back and threw the door open. All four of them leapt through.
What the?
You're shitting me.
It took only a moment for them to realize where they
We're
were.
back.
They had been there only a short time ago. It was the large hospital room filled with countless beds. Lotus and Clover looked up as they entered. Ace was there as well, although he looked as though he had only just woken up.
Clover! Lotus! And Ace! I'm glad you're all okay. Lotus? What are you...
The moment they spotted Junpei, Lotus and Clover headed straight for him. As she neared him, Lotus drew back her hand and slapped him, open-palmed, across the face.
How could you do this to us?
Her face was furious.
Yeah.
She grabbed Junpei by the collar and shook him violently. Clover didn't touch him, but the hate in her eyes was no less potent. It was Seven who stopped them.
Knock it off! We got bigger shit to worry about right now.
His deep voice echoed across the massive room. Lotus glared at Seven, but let Junpei go after one last vicious shake.
What?
Go have a look. I stuck the screwdriver in the door. That door over there, the one without a number. As long as the screwdriver's there, it can't shut, so you can get in there. There's a shower room past there. I stuck a broom at the door there too. Anyway, go take a look.
Wait, then you're saying we can go in there without passing through the numbered door?
Yeah, it's about the size of it.
Wait, what the hell is in there?
You'll know when you see it.
Fine, let's go.
Lotus and Clover looked at one another for a moment, then nodded and stepped through the door. I don't think Seven had the right idea. I think he should have warned Clover before just saying, hey, go look. That was a bad move.
Maybe.
I don't know. By then, Ace had made his way to them, moving with the stiff, shuffling steps of someone who had only just awoken from a lengthy slumber.
My goodness. I know I said I was sure you'd come back for me. I didn't think it would happen so soon, though.
Ace shook his head weakly.
Should I go as well?
Yeah.
Seven nodded.
Very well.
Ace followed Lotus and Clover with a stiff, tired gait. The squeal of tortured metal made Junpei's teeth curl. It sounded like the noise a ghost would make. No matter how many times he heard it, he never got used to it. Every time, it put him on edge. It didn't help that there was a girl nearby who looked far more like a ghost than a living human should. It was Clover. She sat on the edge of the bed, her head drooping listlessly onto her chest. Her eyes were blank and stared across the room at nothing. Her breathing was slow and mechanical. Aside from the rise and fall of her chest, she didn't move. Junpei felt as if even a nudge might cause her to shatter into 1,000 pieces.
Snake was probably murdered. Chances are he was killed the same way the Ninth Man was.
Seven lowered his voice, likely in an effort to keep Clover from hearing what he had to say. There were 4 other people in the room with Junpei and Seven. Ace, Santa, June, and Lotus. Seven looked at each one of them in turn and continued.
It's pretty straightforward. Not that hard to figure out how they did it. First, the killers got Snake to authenticate on the red to open door 3. Then they shoved him into it. Alone. And waited 9 seconds for the door to shut. Once that door shut, it was all over for Snake. But he didn't give up.
That's a very specific name. Is that somebody you know, Yosh?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. It looks like a bot. With all the
He's
numbers.
he's playing Great Ace Attorney.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, we'll do that.
So if you don't want Great Ace Attorney spoilers, maybe don't run the raid, but yeah.
Okay, cool beans.
He probably knew it wouldn't do him any good, but he probably ran into the shower room looking for the dead. It was a small chance, but it wasn't like he had anything to lose.
They just really wanted to name themselves Michael. It's like on Neopets when you you couldn't have the same name, but you really wanted that name, and it would suggest you like random keyboard smash.
In my head, he's just Michael Menu Numbers.
That's so valid. Actually, that would be a really funny. That would be a really funny username. That works.
Unfortunately, it didn't work. The detonator is only deactivated if everybody who authenticated when they went in uses the dead. Snake was
And
the only one who
that
went
works.
over.
Seven, unfortunately, that didn't work.
And then, 81 seconds after he was shot
The irony.
that happened.
I see. So that's what you meant by killers, huh? You need at least 3 people to open one of the numbered doors, including Snake. It wouldn't open for Snake and a single killer.
Yeah. That means we're looking at multiple perps here.
Junpei crossed his arms and grunted. Is this part that... Oh, I could skip through this because it's technically...
Oh.
We've already... I was just thinking, I was like, wait.
Did they ever narrow down who could have possibly shoved him through?
Like
knows?
in the previous one, or do they ever?
Did they in the previous one, did Clover say?
Yeah, because she thought it was, I think, Santa and Seven. Because 7
right.
plus 3 is 10, plus Snake is 2, so that's 12, which 1 plus 2 equals 3. That was her hypothesis anyways.
Let's go with Junpei wasn't sure just to get a different answer.
Something's still strange.
Hmm?
Well, I'm just wondering about one thing.
And what's that?
How can you be so sure that Zero's on this ship?
Ace's eyebrows shot up.
Really, Junpei? I confess I'm a little disappointed. Usually you're rather sharp. Isn't it obvious?
Great Ace.
Wait, it is?
This ship.
Huh?
Zero said, "this ship," several times when he addressed us.
I just want to say, I think this is very flimsy reasoning for
That's
Ace.
so flimsy.
And it's something that you could
If
fake
he
really
weren't
easily.
here, he wouldn't say "this ship," would he? He'd be saying something like "that ship" or "the ship."
Oh, yeah, I guess that makes sense.
I
Maybe
guess
it
that
makes more sense in
sense.
Japanese.
That's true.
I
There's
guess
a lot
that
of
makes sense is Midwest for it. That doesn't make any sense and you're dumb, but I'm just gonna say yeah to make you feel better.
Ace's explanation made perfect sense. Junpei felt a little foolish that he hadn't seen it himself. Still, he was left with a question, and it was one of no small importance.
If Zero's on the ship, where is he?
It's like a certain someone saying "those guys" in Danganronpa.
Oh god, don't remind me.
Suddenly, everyone went very quiet. The silence was cold and clammy, and Junpei could feel it crawling across his back and around his throat. Again, he heard the ghosting moaning noise. And moments later, a person who looked more ghost than human appeared. Sorry, my mom texted me. Give me 1 second.
Oh, you're okay.
I'm glad she texted you the moment this very pleasing sound
Oh,
started
no, I'm
playing.
sorry. No, so earlier when I said hold on 1 second and I like left for a second and then I came back, I thought I heard knocking, and so I went and I looked and I didn't see anybody in the peephole, and then my mom just said, "Daddy knocked on your door 30 to 40 minutes ago and no answer," and I was like, well, I looked, but I didn't see anyone. Anyways, whatever. It was Clover. She looked at the floor as she spoke, and her voice was a cold monotone.
I think Zero is one of us.
Let me skip again.
Yeah, you're probably right. Once it goes through the people, hold on. Yeah. Cool. Do you just want to go with
Let's
the
just do opposite answers just to
Okay.
get more dialogue. I
That's
don't know.
crazy. Isn't this ship going to sink in a few hours? If Zero was here with us, he'd be putting himself in danger. Why the hell would he do something like that? There's no motive.
Clover looked up at Junpei, and her face fell.
You don't believe me.
Her eyes were so pitiful.
I guess we're getting X'd again.
The moment Junpei's met them, he felt his heart tighten. Fatal said, "It was June all along. I knew she gave me weird vibes, / joke." That feels very... I know it's a joke, but that does feel very, very random to just pull out of nowhere. He didn't think what he said was wrong, but perhaps the way he'd said it had been. He'd been too insensitive. Junpei's a fucking asshole sometimes. Clover had just lost her brother. His death would have been bad enough, but she'd also seen the blasted wreck of his body. Junpei barely knew him, and the sight had been enough to make him sick. What Clover had felt, he couldn't begin to imagine. In the mental state she must have been in, it was understandable that she would look at those around her with suspicion. She felt everyone was against her. The least Junpei could have done was try to understand what she was feeling. He felt ashamed of what he'd said. Perhaps he thought I should apologize. But before that apology could begin...
Clover,
Clover, I understand what you're feeling. You don't feel that you can trust any of us.
Ace had beaten Junpei to the punch. As he spoke to Clover, his face was calm and friendly.
But you have to understand. The more we distrust one another, the further we fall into our true foe's trap. Zero was the one who did those horrible things to your brother. Do you want to let yourself be manipulated by someone who would do such a horrible thing?
Okay, thanks, Fatal. Thanks for stopping by. Have a good one. Clover didn't answer. She didn't even look at Ace. The whole time, her eyes were on Junpei. He could feel Clover's eyes boring into him. They were the color of a deep winter lake. Junpei saw no suspicion in them, only sadness. Then, in that horrible silence, they heard a bell begin to ring. It was the clock at the central staircase.
It's 3 in the morning.
That means we have 3 hours left.
Then we need to move now. 7. Clover, I know how you feel, but you do understand that right now it's important we trust one another, don't you?
7 and Clover remained silent. Their eyes were looking at something somewhere else, very far away.
We must go.
What's
We have
Seven's
very little
problem
time
right
left.
now?
I think he's just concerned about Zero. It was probably in the stuff we skipped, I think.
Probably.
Ace's words put their feet to moving. They all knew where they were going.
Our next destination is Mercury. Here we go.
They stood in front of the elevators next to the stairs that led to the casino and the kitchen. Between the 2 elevators was a card reader with the Mercury symbol engraved on it. Junpei stood in front of it with the Mercury key
Oh,
card.
that's the...
Yeah, I found it in the shower room.
Oh, I see. It's got the Mercury symbol.
He took a deep breath and slid the card through the reader. It made a small beep and the lights on the reader blinked to life.
Now we can go.
7 people, including Junpei, climbed into the elevator.
Looks like there's only 2 floor buttons working.
C and bottom.
The rest were destroyed or did nothing when pushed.
Time to head down then.
Junpei hit the bottom button. The door closed. Slowly, they began to move downward. Sometime later, all 7 of them stepped off the elevator and onto the bottom deck. They stepped off and saw that the hallway to their right ended somewhere between 20 and 25 feet from them. The hallway in front of them was a dead end, but not a regular dead end.
This is a numbered door.
Yeah, it's door 2.
Immediately, they began to discuss who would go through it.
So who should go through the door this time?
We don't need to be discussing who we're leaving behind this time, right?
Right. It's set up so we'll be able to meet up again once we get through the numbered doors.
Then there's no need for arguments at this point.
We should figure out who's going in first.
Very well. Would anyone like to volunteer?
I'll do it.
The first to speak up was 7.
I'll go too.
Then I suppose I need to go too then.
Junpei followed suit, which meant Lotus was, by default, the 3rd member. 5 plus 7 plus 8 equals 20. 2 plus 0 equals 2.
All right, we're taking off.
Okay, please be careful.
Jesus. You 2 are acting like you're married, you know that?
Oh,
June blushed. So did Junpei.
Don't be silly. Cut it out.
Perhaps in an attempt to hide his emotions, he quickly turned away to pull the lever on the red. The door opened. As they'd come to expect, there appeared to be a short hallway on the other side.
All right, let's go.
Lotus was the first through the door.
Yeah.
Let's do this.
7 was next, and Junpei brought up the rear.
Where the hell is it this time?
I don't see it!
Oh, there it is! It's right there!
Fortunately, it took them only moments to find the dead. It had been placed just inside the room, right next to the numbered door. They gathered around it and quickly scanned each of their bracelets.
It stopped.
Yeah, it stopped.
Junpei could feel his heart pounding against the inside of his ribs. Seven and Lotus were breathing hard and fast.
Man, I'll never get used to that.
I'm not sure it's something I'd want to get used to. We should finish this game before imminent death becomes a normal thing.
Damn right.
All right.
Junpei looked around again.
This hallway's pretty short, but it's got 5 doors. 3 on the left, and only 1 on the right.
Don't forget the last one at the end of the hall.
But it's got a metal plate over it, so I doubt we're gonna get anywhere that way.
After taking a look around the room himself, Seven spoke.
All right, let's get started. I think we'd probably better split up. You two okay with that?
Yes, no problem.
Sure thing.
Then I'll take this first one.
Seven nodded to them and stepped into the room closest to him.
I'll try the one next to it.
At last, Junpei was left alone.
Well, I guess I'd better get started too.
He looked intently at the remaining 3 doors. Woo! So, we're in door 2. This is a pretty lengthy escape room, so I'm gonna say we should probably cut it here, so we don't get like halfway in and then like forget all our clues and then have to come back and get confused. But yeah, so this ending, if you go through door 3, it forces you into door 2. There's literally no choice. You can go through 2 and through other paths this way, but if you choose door 3, it's like you automatically get.
Oh, that's fine.
So
Yeah, because we didn't find any other keys or key cards, so we only have 1.
Oh yeah, because we didn't go through. They didn't go through 7 or 8 then.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
And they're not gonna go back and go through those ones.
it didn't seem like it because they said who's gonna go through first, so it seemed to indicate that they were gonna maybe like cycle through. It also depends on how many details they find in here. If they have enough to get to the next point, then it'll be enough. But yeah. So, but yeah. So probably get another ending next time we play. So that's exciting. Maybe, I don't know, because that escape room's kind of lengthy and there's a good chunk of stuff afterwards, so maybe we'll have to see. But yeah, so any changed thoughts at this point in time?
I am genuinely like so unsure of what's gonna happen. Like I kind of feel like Clover's just gonna kill us all. But also, I don't know.
That's valid. There's it's one of those things that you never really know. Like that's just how Zero Escape be sometimes.
I'm just scared.
I mean, what's the worst that could happen? It's not like we're gonna die.
Wouldn't it be absolutely whack if Clover just killed us the exact same way?
See, and you're saying that too, and I'm just like, please don't let that happen again. But I feel like it's possible, but also, what the heck?
I'd find it really funny if we just keep getting the same ending over and over again.
That would be pretty funny. You never know. Well, anyways, thank you guys for joining us today. All of you in viewing for joining us, and then thank you guys for joining me and playing this. I have had a lot of fun, and I'm very excited. The ending that we're gonna get is my favorite ending besides the like true ending. So I'm very excited to see this. So yeah. So we're gonna go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and start the raid on this Michael person that Yosh redeemed. And then
Michael many numbers. Yeah.
Yes, Michael many numbers. Thanks, Mike. See you later. I probably won't stick around on this raid for long because 1, I have not played Great Ace Attorney, and 2, I have like a shit ton of stuff to do today. I have to try to make a blanket in like 4 hours before I go to bed. So because I cursed myself with that, so that's gonna be fun. But yeah, so thanks everybody for hanging out, and I will see you guys sometime soon, either on here or in the Discord. Bye bye.
I'm so excited for
Bye.
next time. Bye. Oh, that like